Hey everybody, what's happening? Besides, oh no, I almost ended the live feed. Sorry, that was sketchy. This hydrangea is everything right now. Loving it. Not to be outdone by this pink and green one. So pretty. So what is going on, TGIF? Still a hot one, but at least we have some cloud cover. But it got like dark as night, so I was afraid some of the birds were heading in for for the night. We don't need them in the coops this early in this weather. Stay outside where there's a little air movement anyway. All right, say hi everybody. Let me know where you're looking in from while we go collect some eggs. And hello, Liz in New Jersey, and Lydia in Texas, and in Iowa. Hello, Dana in North Dakota. Sarita. I don't know why I say North Dakota like that. I say it like, reminds me of like how Sarah Palin would say it. And that, I need to fix that. North Dakota. What's up, Sarita in Louisiana? Sue in Massachusetts. Hello, hello, Richard and Paulette. All right, let's see what we got going on in nest boxes here. We were at me and my little chicken chicks. My little chicken chicks and I were at Goodwill today, and I picked up a new basket. I called it a winter-sized egg basket. $2. Yay! Love me some Goodwill. Okay, let's see what's going on in Nestville here. There's one. Egg production is tanking a little bit, as expected, between the heat and humidity and lost daylight hours already. Molting having begun. It's expected. Hey, Tedward. Hey, Ted. Where are you going, pal? What's a good word? He's so antisocial. I feel that though. Ted. What's going on, girl? Greta's hot. Go have a beverage, Greta. There's plenty of cold water around. Okie doke. Place that there. And let's see what we have. There's a big one. All right. Holy cow, that's massive. I don't like that. That looks like a little bit of blood. You got to watch out with these big eggs, and keep an eye for the hen who might have had difficulty passing that because it was so large. She might have a little tear, but what you're looking out for is vent prolapse, and vent prolapse is life-threatening. Can be life-threatening. Does someone eat an egg in here? Yeah, they did. There's egg yolk on that egg. All right, so we're gonna remove the offending nest pad. Birds. All right, hang on, I gotta find some place for this. They can't get into it. And replace my equipment. I'll wash that. I'll just put that in my rinse bucket up by the faucet, and the chickens, we'll soak it. I just don't want the chickens benefiting from that mess in the nest box. All right. So that's all sand. That's not a problem. I'll just replace our feed bag. It's a lot harder to do with one hand than two. There we go. And replace our nest pads. Bam. I love these. Okay. Love me some nest pads. All right, that's it for eggs in this coop. On we go. My money's on Amelia for having eaten that egg. And I could tell that there was probably an egg eaten in there because there's egg yolk on this egg. So yeah. There's public enemy number one. I'm going to find her. She's probably not far from the door of the coop. She was hanging out in there yesterday. All right. Onward. Oh, there's our bunny. Hi, little bunny. You're getting bigger by the day. Look at you. Just hanging in the yard, eating the new sod. Yeah, you're not shy. Not even a little bit. Where's your mother? Does she know you're out on your own? So little. Where do you live? Have an address? I think it lives in the azalea shrub. I don't know where it went. Where could it have gone? It's so speedy. I think it lives somewhere over there. All right. Little bun. He's been sticking around for a couple days. All right, no eggs in there. There's a couple. Oh, that's small. That's very small. Who's responsible for that? Look at that one next to the big egg. It's tiny. Not fairy egg size, but definitely small. This is from our prolific layer again. We were talking about that yesterday. I haven't figured out who's responsible for that sort of white speckled egg, but she is dependable, a dependable layer. Not too many eggs today, though. What's that noise? Sketchy noise. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, the poor. Oh, you're trapped in there. I'll be in to rescue you in a minute. Uh-oh, that's what the noise was. It sounded like maybe, oh, holy cow, lots of eggs. Oh, here's all the eggs. I found them. It sounded like a weed whacker, but it's actually a, what, dragonfly? Or I don't know what kind of insect that is. It's got the bi-wing situation going. I don't think it's a dragonfly. I don't really know. I'm not an insect expert. All right, let's hurry up so we can make that bug rescue. No one said insects were particularly bright, so, but neither are chickens, so there's that. All right. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, it's not stuck behind the frame anymore. Now it's stuck up there. Yeah, that's not an exit, my friend. I don't think I'm going to be able to save it from itself in that particular position. I'm definitely not touching it. If only there was a seat in this chair. Oh, no good can come of this. Let's try. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. Okay. Oh, that's a bad position. All right. I can't really help. It's just going to have to be one of those nature things. Darwinian survival of the fittest and all. All right, guys, what's going on? I'm risking breaking a leg for an insect I can't even identify. All right, let's go put the eggs down. Oh, is that another bun or the same bun? That's the same one. It's got a little white line on the top of its head. Oh my God, you're so Cadbury egg adorable. Look at you. Go, bun. Don't poop in my grass. This is where cooties come from, guys. Wildlife. It doesn't make you a bad chicken ear just because your birds get mites and lice. It just means you have wildlife in your yard sometimes. That's not a bad thing. It's expected. Commercial laying hens don't get to live outside. They don't have these problems. But it's not a big deal. You handle it when you need to handle it. All right, let's see here. Any questions that I can help with? Let's see. Hello, Alicia in Connecticut. Hello, Dora in New Mexico, watching the Alex Baldwin trial about to be dismissed. That's my legal prediction. Prosecutor dropped the ball repeatedly. Hello, Julie in... Oh, nope, didn't say. What's the question? Where's my bunny? The bunny died a long time ago. Like many months ago. I don't even remember when. Yeah. Where have you been is the question. Yeah, many, many months ago. She was 5. I don't know what that means. Hello, Marty in Tucson, where it's 105 degrees. What is that sound? Oh, I wanted to check the floor of the coop to make sure there's not an egg on the floor because we have one hen who has been laying eggs on the floor. Nope, nothing there. Okay, if you're not laying, you don't need to be in the coop, so get out. It's not a tourist attraction. All right. Let's see, any chickening questions I can help with? Hello, Terry in Virginia. We're waiting on some really bad weather overnight, I think, but it's been like as dark as night for periods of the day today. Kind of sketchy. Let me scroll down here. Anybody have questions about my chick hen mating saddles? They are now back in stock. I announced it yesterday. I'm going to announce it again today. A lot of folks were waiting on the skinny girl size to be back in stock, and it is. You can get them in small, which is the bantam size. You can get them in skinny girl medium, which is like Polish size, campine size. Who else fits in those? Leghorns. Just like less wide than your standard size. Oh, there's Amelia. She might, see, sometimes you have to just try it on the bird. Sometimes you can't know. She might be a skinny girl versus a standard. The standard size would be more like Marins and Orpingtons and Wyandottes. Easter eggers are sort of standard size. Oh, you guys should do something about that bunny. You should not have a rabbit in your yard. This is a chicken yard. They are not even... My chickens are the chillest. They'll do that with, like, face-to-face with a bear at the back fence. No one's paying a single bit of attention to that rabbit. Nobody. Nothing, Greta? One of these things is not like the other. No? Okay. Way to guard the yard. It's so cute, though. And what's that screamy bird? Or is that a squirrel? We have a lot of screaming going on in the trees here. Hey, we're just going to hang out here, okay? With the bunny. Hello, Debbie in Houston. And Nicole, I see out there. Suzanne. Hello, Wendy. And Teresa in Texas. Let's see. Alicia says she has roosters for the first time. Very excited about that. Good for you. Roosters are fun. Look at the little veining in her little bunny ears. So cute. Hello, Richard. The chicks are good. Getting big. Hopefully, I might try integrating them into the flock next week or so. I think they're 6 weeks old now. Yeah, it might be time. Not in any rush. Is there anything I can apply topically to numb the foot pad before I remove Bumblefoot? No, you can't, Deborah. No, it wouldn't help. You would need to be able to do a nerve block in order to address that. So either find a vet who will do the procedure for you if you're concerned about that, or don't, because there's not any numbing cream that would make any difference. You're going to be cutting into the abscess, into the foot, and any sort of topical product would just be addressing superficial. And chickens have very thick skin on their foot pads, so it's not going to do a single thing, even if you did. So the answer is no. Alicia wants to know, how do you choose which birds wear hen mating saddle. She has 3 roosters and 9 hens. That is way too many roosters, Alicia. Every one of your hens is probably going to need a hen mating saddle. You can't have 3 roosters with 9 hens. That is just too much for the birds, for the hens. They're going to get way overmated. It's just too many. You need like 1 rooster for 10 to 15 hens. So, yeah, way too much. I have to rehome somebody. But in terms of who needs a hen mating saddle when, you will be looking for feather loss on the back. Now, if you go to my website, chickenchick.com, I show you what mating damage looks like, but it's pretty obvious when the hens start to get defeathered, feathers broken on their backs, or there's 2 typical places that feather loss occurs as a result of mating damage, and I'm not going to get a volunteer to let me show you where that is, but on the wings right there, so like I call them the shoulders, on the shoulders, and then at the area where the tail meets the back. So the rooster needs to stand, actually there's 3 areas, the back of the head, but there's nothing you can do for the back of the head in terms of protecting it. So when a rooster mates with a hen, he stands on her back, facing in the same direction she's facing in. And he needs to balance himself on her shoulders while he lines up his cloaca with hers. So the feet are going to be doing the balancing and creating feather damage on the shoulders. And then his abdomen is going to be creating friction in the area of the top of the back where it meets the tail. And it's very awkward. It's very awkward looking. It's very awkward, in fact. And but those are the 2 areas that will typically be impacted by being repeatedly mated. The feathers will be broken sometimes, but sometimes they'll be pulled out completely. And you want to try to put the hen mating saddle on the bird before you start to see skin. You don't want the hen to be completely denuded of feathers, because when the rooster stands on her and she has no feathers on her back, his fingernails are going to dig into her skin, and that's when you can end up with serious injuries on your hen. So don't ever let it get to that point. You can see very clearly. I only have bantam roosters right now, so I don't have any hens who are actively showing signs of feather loss from being overmated. The bantam roosters are all very lightweight, so they don't apply as much pressure or friction with their feet as the standard size breeds will. So I don't really have anybody who needs a saddle right now. But get it on your bird before you do. And if you go to my website and you see the article about, actually it's a page, the whole page on my hen mating saddles, you'll see what feather loss looks like in an overmated hen that is past due for protection. But don't let the skin show through before you help her. Josh says, I think I have a case of depluming mites. So Josh, I doubt it. That is one of these new sort of rumor mill kind of things that's popping up on social media lately. Depluming mites are not at all common in North America. So the odds of all these people who've been coming to my page lately wondering aloud whether they have depluming mites and if Elector PSP will fix that is suspicious to me, and I seriously doubt that's what you have. What I suspect people are seeing is a variety of other issues that when you hop on a Facebook group and say, hey, I don't know what this problem is. What do you think it is? Someone goes, oh, that's depluming mites. And it's not, more often than not. So you can only really diagnose that microscopically, but I would be interested in hearing you tell me what you think, what the problem is that you're seeing in your flock that made you think that it could be depluming mites. And more often than not, in backyard flocks, we have several things going on that are making people think this. And somebody somebody in the past couple months learned the term depluming mites and just started throwing it around on the internet, and it's taking off. But it is not a common parasite in backyard flocks, much less in North America. So strongly suggest we look at what else could be causing the problem that you're seeing, Josh. So if you can describe to me what you're seeing, and I can suggest to you what else may be at work here. So one of the things I would like to know is what you're feeding your chickens. What does their primary diet consist of, and are you feeding them anything besides a nutritionally complete chicken feed? Number 1. Number 2, how old are they? Number 3, are you giving them any supplements or kitchen scraps or vegetables or fruits or anything besides a nutritionally complete layer feed? And then number 3, when's the last time you did a fecal float test to see what their gut health looks like, to see whether there are parasites that are preventing them from absorbing the nutrients in their feed? So a lot of times people are coming here saying their chickens have feathers that look ragged, or they're losing feathers. We're also in a point of the year, at a point in the year, that's why I asked your age, the age of the birds, where hens will have their annual molt. They can begin their annual molt. I have several birds who have begun molting. And so that's not at all uncommon. It seems early to people who haven't experienced a molt in their flock before, or it may be completely unexpected for people who haven't seen their birds molting in July before, but it's totally expected and normal. So I would need some more information to help you troubleshoot that. So Ron, chickens do not need bananas, much less everyday bananas. That is not beneficial to them in any way at all. If there is a nutrient in bananas that is beneficial to your chickens, it's already in their chicken feed. And if you're feeding them something other than chicken feed, they're eating less of their chicken feed and they're getting less of all the other 37 nutrients that they're supposed to, and now their diet is unbalanced. So it's not beneficial to them. I would suggest not doing that, but it's your flock, but it's not benefiting them. It's actually the opposite of that. So I would not recommend it. Let's see. It's a judgment call, Colleen. Yeah, totally a judgment call. There's not a right or wrong answer to that. No. I'm going to actually, and people think, who told me that about the bananas? I'm not getting a follow-up from Josh, am I, about the depluming mites question? There's no chance you have depluming mites. Let's see. A lot of times people think, oh, my chickens love the bananas, or they love the watermelon, or they love the dried insects I spend my retirement money on to feed them. They don't love whatever XYZ. And I'll tell you how I know that. Chickens are visual eaters, and they will eat to meet their nutritional, not their nutritional requirements, their caloric requirements. So it doesn't matter to them what they're eating. Their full-time job is to eat. They're grazers. They're going to graze all day long. If you give them something that isn't what they need, then they're going to eat less of their feed. And my chickens, you can train your chickens, and your chickens can train you to behave in certain ways. My chickens, when I come in here and take the lid off this feeder, I'm going to draw a crowd. This does not mean that they love me. This does not mean that they love this feed. This means that they have trained me to take feed and put it someplace other than their feeder, and they appreciate the different presentation of the same exact feed that's been in their feeder all day, every day of their adult lives. So they're not loving this. So if there was bananas in here, someone would say, oh, they love those bananas. No, they don't love the bananas. And they're just full-time eaters. So the reason that I say it's not about, or maybe I didn't say this today, but it's not about flavors or flavor preferences for chickens. It's just about doing their full-time job, which is eating. So with respect to our thinking that they love whatever other things we're throwing to them in the backyard, we think when we say they love bananas or mealworms, that means that they love the flavor of the mealworms or the bananas, and they don't. Here's how I know. Chickens have very limited taste buds and no teeth. What does that have to do with anything? Teeth. Well, there goes that rabbit. When we eat things, we chew the things and we mix it with saliva in our mouths. That solution stays near our taste buds for whatever period of time we have the solution in our mouths, and that's when we perceive the flavors. And we have about 9,000 taste buds, but chickens only have about 250. We have 9,000, they have about 250. So not only are they not chewing their food and putting it in solution and having the food spend any time near their taste buds, but their taste buds are not in contact with any solution ever because they are swallowing their food whole. So it's not spending any time near their taste buds. So they're not enjoying the flavors that we think they're enjoying when we give them different things. They're just opportunistic eaters. They will eat most things that we give them. If they have what seems to us like a preference, more often than not, it is a visual preference, not a flavor preference. So don't anthropomorphize the chickens and do them the disservice of giving them things that they're not benefiting from that will actually be a detriment because they're not eating the things that they should be eating because you're giving them other things. So let's see. Hello, Lisa in West Virginia. Hello, Wayne and Teresa. I see you out there. She's missing feathers on her keel. She's a leghorn, says Josh. Hang on. Maybe Josh came in with other information that I missed when I was scrolling. Let me just look. Josh says she's feeding a quality layer feed. They don't need high protein, Josh. If she's not growing or growing new feathers, they don't need a high protein feed. So that's a mistake. More is not better. Adult chickens do not continue to grow. The only time they can benefit from a high protein feed is when they are regrowing feathers. And if they're not laying eggs and they're only regrowing feathers, they can use a grower feed. So I don't like this newfangled marketing tactic that is aimed at backyard chicken ears to put the words high protein on a layer feed. There's no benefit to it in backyard chickens who are not regrowing their feathers. So I don't like that. I don't know the rationale for it, but the last time that company made a change in their chicken feed, it was due to marketing and not to a nutritional benefit for chickens who didn't need what they put in it that I told them to take out and they took out. So yeah, that's a marketing thing. That's not a nutrition thing. So hang on. Ron, why are you putting vitamin water in the electrolytes in your chicken's water? All right, Josh, did you say how old those birds are? So I think you heard what I said. You haven't answered all my questions that I can see right now about that feather loss. But if your hens are older than a year old, it is more likely than not molting that's going on with that bird. So if you don't see mites or lice on your birds around the vent, and you haven't microscopically witnessed depluming mites on your birds, feather loss does not mean that they have depluming mites. So I am convinced your birds don't at all. So make sure their diet is correct. Number one, if they don't have the correct diet, they cannot regrow feathers that they have lost. And there are other times of year that they will lose feathers and other reasons they will lose feathers. But if their diet is incorrect because you're feeding them other things that they don't need, then they're going to be nutritionally deficient and they won't be able to regrow the feathers as they should. If they are molting, then you can be supporting. I usually switch over to a grower feed during molting season when the majority of my flock is molting. It's challenging in backyard flocks because we have birds that are many different ages, and not everybody's molting at the same time. Not everybody will be molting at all this year. So the solution, or I don't know if it's a solution, but the compromise is to put, just have your oyster shell available for the hens who are still laying. They're going to be getting more protein they need during molting season if I have grower feed in the feeder. And that will depress egg production, and it may cause other issues that you may or may not see, but it's not the ideal diet for the hens that are laying. So chickens who aren't growing don't need extra feed. So oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. Well, what else was I going to say about depluming mites? If you have a veterinarian and you're not convinced that they don't have depluming mites, bring a feather or several feather samples to the vet and ask them to look under the microscope for you to see if they can see depluming mites under the microscope. They all have one. So yeah, some of the feathers are ragged looking, and so nothing else, Josh, just ragged looking feathers and missing somewhere. So it could be molting. If you haven't done a fecal float test, you should be doing a fecal float test. You didn't answer. Oh, 2023. Okay, so March, what is it? April, May, June, July. 4 months old, she's going through a second juvenile molt. So go to my website. That's normal, Josh. Yeah, go to my website, chickenchick.com, and type in molting. And read the article on molting. I can't remember the exact. Chickens go through 2 mini molts or juvenile molts in their first year. So she should not be having a regular molt right now. She's 16 weeks old. They say March or May? March. June, July, 4 months. So she's getting ready to switch over to layer feed. She should still be on starter feed. And I would check the gut health in terms of a fecal float test at your vet. Okay, so Ron says, my chickens will not eat pellets. And here's what I have to say to you about that, Ron. Chickens will eat what they are fed. Many times when chickeneers need to switch over from starter feed to layer feed at 18 weeks old, they will get pushback from their chickens. And they will think, oh, my chickens won't eat that, because chickens are prey animals, and they are wary of change. They are wary of new things, and different flocks and different individuals within a flock will be wary to different degrees. That doesn't mean that they will not eat layer feed. That simply means that they can see the visual difference, the particle size difference between starter feed and layer feed. You can buy layer crumbles if size is the issue for them, and that's what I suspect very strongly it is. So if I were you, and these are your pets, and you care about their health and longevity, you will only feed them layer feed if that's their age to be eating layer feed, if they're over 18 weeks old. Because that is the only way that they can get a nutritionally complete diet. They can't get it with other things. You can't patch together like with humans. we try to patch together a nutritionally complete diet for ourselves, but most of us miss that. But we're not chickens, and we know exactly what chickens need nutritionally to be, why is my light on? To be healthy, and that's because they've been so intensively studied. The species is very well understood from a health and nutrition standpoint because they've been intensively studied by commercial growers for almost a century. So I wouldn't give them anything, Ron, except layer feed, because if they're able to have other things to eat, they will avoid the new thing. That's just how prey animals are sometimes. So they're not bucking the flavor profile. That's not what's happening. They're not balking at the taste of layer pellets. It's literally a visual difference to them. So just give them a layer crumble, or just put layer pellets in the feeder. And they're not going to go on a hunger strike. Their job is literally to eat. That's their whole job. They're full-time eaters. They will eat what they are given. So don't concern yourself with that. Let's see. Hang on, I'm scrolling down looking for other questions here. I'm going to spread the love here. Make sure everybody who has a concern. Hello, Carol in Alabama. Tracy asks, how many laying hens is good to have at one time? Thanks. Well, there's no correct answer for everybody, Tracy. It would depend on your purpose in keeping chickens. So in my book, I talk about starting small and staying small. I actually don't say this in the book, but you should start small and stay small for the first year. Everybody wants to get more right away. Everybody wants to get more right away. That's a bad idea. So start small, and it depends on why you're keeping chickens. The number of chickens will be limited by your budgetary concerns, the coop that you purchase, the number of chickens you're possibly regulated by your municipality to keep, and you should know all of these things beforehand. If you're getting eggs because you want to sell eggs, that will be a different number. You will be limited by the number of chickens that you must purchase when you purchase chickens wherever you purchase them. So there's a lot of moving parts, Tracy, but I always tell folks to start small so that you're sure that you're going to be able to care for these birds the way that they need to be cared for, and that you're not creating complications for them by suddenly adding to the flock and throwing monkey wrenches into the learning curve for yourself. I didn't see what you said. Ron. I did get these ones on March. Yeah, guys, your questions are kind of getting broken up. So Ron and Josh, your questions are getting broken up. So I'm not really, at least I'm not confusing the two of you. That could happen. All right. If you can type in full sentences or full thoughts, that would be helpful. Ron says crumble feed, layer feed in crumble form is all they get fed. Okay, you said you gave them bananas. So that's not true, right? Okay, why do you tell me they don't free range, Ron? What is that? Am I trying to answer something for you about your birds? A lot of chickeneers who can't, won't, whatever, allow their chickens to free range think that their chickens are somehow disadvantaged nutritionally, and they should give them other things, that they need somehow fresh greens or fruit and vegetables because we can't free range. The opposite is actually true. If you're only feeding your chickens a nutritionally complete chicken feed and nothing else, they're better off for it nutritionally. Nutritionally, I didn't say from a socializing or exercise perspective or none of that. I'm talking about nutritionally. If your chickens don't free range, your birds are better off if they're only, because you can control what they're eating. So they're not going to be finding other things that may dilute the complete nutrition in their feed. So they're better off as a result of not being able to free range, because you can give them just layer feed and know that their diet is correct. They're getting the correct balance, and you're not interfering with their diet by giving them other things. All right, so Tracy, you may find my book helpful. It's a Chicken Chick's Guide to Backyard Chickens. If you don't already keep chickens, or you're new to it, or even folks who have kept chickens for 10, 20 years, there's always stuff to learn, and you may find some best practices that you weren't even aware of that you can implement in your flock to make it easier for you and easier for you to keep your chickens healthy and with less work, by the way. Hello, Jamie in South Carolina. Hello, Pat and Judy. Any other questions that I can help with? I see you there, Sal in Brooklyn, New York. How are you? Hello, B. What is it, little guy? He's looking up something in the sky. I don't know what. Oh, now he's gone. Where'd he go? That was fast. So there may be a predator around here somewhere that he sees. Hello, Tariq. Any follow-up questions to what we already talked about that I can help with? If I miss the information you added onto a question, or you ask a question late, or Facebook doesn't show it to me during the live feed, I do go back through the comments after the live feed at some point and try to answer questions that I missed. So feel free to leave follow-up information or your questions, even if I'm not live while you're listening. But you can always go directly to my website, chickenchick.com, for answers to all your chicken care questions, and just scroll around and see what you might find. I have lots of different categories of chicken care stuff, from feeding and behavior issues to seasonal issues, health and wellness type topics. But there he is. No, that's Duke. Where did Romeo go? I don't know. He got out of Dodge pretty quick. There's something going on, because now we have hiding birds. Philomena's hiding. What are you hiding from? Should I know? Not everybody's hiding, but they're alert to something. There he is. Little Romeo is on duty this afternoon. He's on security detail. I don't know what he's going to do if Predator does show up. Probably run. That's what I would think. Yes, Jamie. I'm glad to know I'm saving you stress and money, because there's a lot of misinformation on the internet about the care of backyard chickens, and lots of merchants are taking advantage of backyard chickeneers, trying to convince you that you need to buy a constant stream of products to keep your chickens happy and healthy, when the actual opposite is true. The only thing you should be regularly purchasing for your chickens is a nutritionally complete chicken feed. Nothing else. Anything else that you're giving to them, or putting in their litter, or in their nest boxes, or in their environment, because someone told you should be doing it for XYZ purpose, that's benefiting their bank accounts, not your chickens. Chickens do not need a steady stream of litter additives or supplements or treats, any of that stuff. You should just pass by if you're in the feed store and online, because chickens are much simpler to care for and will be healthier when their care is kept to the things they actually need, and we don't screw it up. I assure you that birds kept in the commercial poultry industry are not fed extras beyond their chicken feed, because it is bad for their health, not because commercial poultry keepers don't love their chickens, or they don't, they don't want to see them happy, and it has nothing to do with that. They would be perfectly happy to cut their feed budget in half by giving them all the leftovers from the bake shop and the produce department at the grocery store when they're throwing that stuff away, or restaurant waste for that matter. The commercial poultry industry does not give their birds anything to eat besides exactly what they need nutritionally, because to do that would be harmful to their health. And less than healthy chickens are not able to ovulate at the expected rate for their breed and age. So there are some things that the commercial poultry industry does better than backyard chicken ears, and it's not because they don't love them. And the things that we're doing because the things we do saying that it is because we love them or we're spoiling them is the exact opposite of that. It's not beneficial to them. So keep it simple, and your chickens will be healthier and more productive because they're healthy, 100% healthy, and not obese and not malnourished. And you don't ever have to worry when a problem comes up that it is due to something in their diet that you screwed up. All right. Hello, Donna and Steven. I didn't say, Pamela, that free range is not better. I did not say that. I said specifically, chickens who do not free range are nutritionally better off. I was very clear about that. I said it 2 or 3 different ways. So I did not say what you're paraphrasing me to say. I said nutritionally. When we can control their diet, they are better off nutritionally. When they do not free range and we do not bring them other things that isn't their chicken feed, they are better off nutritionally than birds that do free range and are finding extras. So I was pretty clear about that, but maybe you didn't tune in on that part. Should I have some kind of chickens in the coop? What? I don't know what you mean by that, Tracy. Should you have the same kind of chickens in the coop? You mean, should you have all the same breed? It doesn't matter one bit. At all. Not even a little bit. Nope, chickens do not discriminate based on breed. They are equal opportunity flock members. So you can get whatever breeds you like, provided you understand what the breed propensities are, and it meets with your needs as a chickeneer, and you can care for them properly based on those needs. All right, let's see. Hello, Cindy and Francine. Hello, Ramona. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to bounce. I appreciate you looking in for a little while this afternoon, and if you don't already follow the page, I invite you to do that. And if you want to get notified of my live feeds, which I try to do most days of the year, you can turn on hit the little bell at the top somewhere up here-ish on your screen, and Facebook should notify you when I go live if you'd like to hop on. So that's going to do it from here for now. Until next time, everybody, keep it simple, and we'll talk again soon. Have a great afternoon.